My name is Michael Franco. I have a YouTube channel here called Global Voodoo. I talk a lot about reselling. I'm starting a new thing here on my channel called Storage Auction Stories. And these are stories that they might not be for everybody. They're reality. They're I'm going to be reading from documents I've been storing of stories of storage units that people had lost. And I'm not going to be judgmental. I'm not going to criticize anything I read from these letters. I want to throw them out there because, they're unforgotten letters. And, they end up a storage unit, and then 99.9% of the time they end up in the trash. Nobody gets a chance to read them. And I wanted to be a person out there that can maybe express feelings for others or share a story, and that's what it's about. Because we live in a world right now, and I don't think the world's changed from 30, 40 years ago. We live in a world where it's not always sunshine and ponies. It's always not rainbows and cashola, right? And recently, I made a live video, and there was some hoopla about it, and it made me change my mentality and said, "Well, you know what? I don't want to sugarcoat things to anybody that's out there, and I don't want to promise riches with reselling, because riches with reselling, those two terminologies do not go together. Okay, so I'm going to be doing these short little videos, live videos, where I'm going to read an excerpt of something that came up with storage unit, and it's kind of like story time. A lot of these stories might not make sense. Maybe they will make sense. Maybe it'll be horrific stories of just what it is. And so if you're looking to learn about reselling, this is probably where you turn off the video. Okay, there's nothing here you're really going to learn about reselling. I just felt that been collecting and saving these documents for a long time, that I wanted to share these stories for people that are out there, right? I really believe that a lot of you guys that are out there watching these videos have a heart, have a soul, and there is a very small percentage of people that are out there that are heartless, and they're mean and they're cruel, and they're judgmental very quick. And I just, it is what it is. It's the world we live in, guys. So I'm coming in here tonight pretty late, and these will be late videos. It's kind of like after dark stuff, right? So I appreciate all of you guys who are joining in live. Like this is the Shaw Shark premiere. He says the people on OfferUp always piss him off. So I'm gonna read this here, and then I just cracked open a Miller Lite, and we're gonna read this. I'm gonna read this story, this letter, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you guys might have. Again, this is hardcore. Okay, this is and I'm not laughing like it's funny. It's actually sad, and but it's a story here that I think a lot of people can relate to, and a lot of people can relate to struggle and consequences and financial despair or drug use or whatever may transpire from what I'm about to say. Right? That it's so that life's not always about the the glamorous life. I mean, I don't live a glamorous life, and I mean, most of you guys know my story. I wasn't born rich. I'm not rich today. I'm thankful that I've got a great wife and kids, and I think I'm doing everything every day to make make my life count and make my life a better place, not just for myself but for my wife and kids. But we're gonna go through this story here, guys. And I'm gonna redact names, so you'll hear me use like analogies or an initial for what the story is. Yeah, Bob Upkiss. The struggle is real. I mean, this is Bob. This is why I want to put the stuff out there, because for some reason with reselling, what I see on YouTube, and I don't watch too many resellers, but I think I want to be the first to be out there and say, listen, these are storage auction stories from real people, and the struggles, and maybe some of this is not even coherent, but maybe this will make you take your life more seriously if you're addicted to something, or if you're you lost a loved one, or or whatever it may be, or maybe they won't make sense at all, right? But I feel like it's something I need to do, right? To share these stories, because I mean, like, this letter would have just been crumbled in a pile and tossed away, and if you can get something out of it, great. If you can't, I completely understand. Again, this is something new, something I'm trying to throw out there. So let's get in the letter here, right? It's dated July 8th, 2016. I had my first visit today with P and E. I had a rough time, so did E. P had her moments, but I really believe she has faith. I thought she didn't care, but she's trying to hold it together and be strong. P tells me that she's staying with an African American family, only one other white person, and they call her White Chocolate. Her hair looked like she just rolled out of bed. Her feet were dirty, as if she walked here. As we were about to leave, she grasped onto me for dear life, as if she was scared. When she gave me kisses, she grasped onto my leg forcefully, and when she finally let go, she walked out with a bad attitude and very mad. E threw a fit, said but sad but hard to bribe with money to go to the store, with for me to go back to daycare, as they called it. Now let me interrupt here, okay? I'm reading just what it says. So if there's bad grammar, there's bad grammar, okay? I'm just reading it as is. I don't like lying to my kids. It's not fair, okay, at all. E's nails were dirty and not cleaned. Hair was like he just rolled out of bed, and he stayed to me because I don't ever brush my teeth. That is totally unacceptable and unhearthy to the fullest. I feel my kids aren't being taken care of. And P said the adults told her, if you don't like us, then you can go to a different home. Not respected. And as for the church, I don't agree with anyone taking any of my children to church. That's religion, and they don't know our beliefs nor religion preference. I think that I should have some say so in this. I am not happy. Kids look unhappy. Of course, a lot has happened. E complained his throat still hurt and back. P said she went to the dentist, but tooth feels funny still. E has mosquito bites all over and no medicine. They look horrible. And there's a lot of them, not normal. Both dirty, not clean, and not happy. I'm sorry, P and E. This will be over soon, I promise. I'm doing everything I can. Reality. A reality check, no doubt. So I'm going to leave you guys with this here tonight. If anybody has any questions on this, yeah, Bob Upkiss, man, as a dad, this shit's heart wrenching. Yeah, it's definitely heart wrenching, and it's reality. And you know, I'm trying something completely different with my channel and sharing these stories because these stories will end up just being tossed in the trash. And there's a struggle that's out there. There's no doubt about it. There is families getting. Who am I to judge, right? After reading that, I don't know the circumstances. I know a little bit behind the scenes more than what that letter is saying, but what do you do? What do you think after I read that? Do you have a better? Is your life more fortunate? You know, uh, Sir Flynn, my kitty. Where did you find that? These all come out of storage auctions. These are all storage units, piece of paper that were left behind that nobody claimed. I'm sorry I missed that last comment. Cheers, man. Good stuff to share some raw stories. Yeah, Rick, appreciate it. These are just raw stories. They're not gonna. This video's not gonna be super long or anything like that. They're just to share the stories, and maybe if you're feeling down and out and you're going, hey man, my life's rough. Imagine that life right there, right? I'm letting you guys piece the puzzle together, but I think you get the gist of what that story was about and how terrible that must be for somebody to, obviously their kids are in a foster home and they were visiting their kids and it just wasn't right. Now, we don't know the whole story of what transpired in terms of how they got there. And I've got, just from piecing the stuff we get together with the storage unit, I've got some background on it, but I'm not going to go out and publicly say it. And people are going to judge this video and judge what I say and stuff like that. It's just, these stories need to be told. And this story will have a lot to do with my video that comes out pretty soon. So you can kind of relate to a little bit what's happening. But at the same point in time, I've got stuff from 10 years ago that it's not always heartbreak. It's joy. And it's, it's a blessing. Um, hey, Joan, from hi, fellow Arizonian. Hey, awesome, yeah. Good to see a lot of you guys from Arizona. A lot of you guys lately have been coming to the flea market and stuff like that, and I appreciate that. Um, Reselling is just it's a game. It's just out there. You make some money. LA Thrifter, thank you for the stories. People need to hear the stories. Thank you so much. Yeah, no problem. Lisa, people will always judge. Do what you feel. Exactly. Mike Dalton, we have to. Oh, Mr. Comment, Mike Dalton. But yeah, you got to do what you got to do for yourself. That's number one, right? Bob's from yeah, Bob. We talked on Facebook, I think. Scott from Coolidge, awesome. Yeah, a lot of you guys local. But the thing is, a lot of us, we go day in and day out, and we're always on the move and the hustle. We got the family, right? Joan, I appreciate it. Thanks. I appreciate you. Love my videos. I appreciate all of you guys that watch the videos. No, there's no doubt about it. Renee says, I went to a yard sale of a neighbor that died, and her daughters threw away letters from her son and her husband that served in the military. I told her I would take them, and it was interesting to read. Yeah, I've done it a lot too, Renee. I've been to so many estate sales over the years where, it's I've got letters from estate sales from 15 years ago that are just heart wrenching, like World War II letters and World War I letters. I got some amazing stuff. So I'm gonna break up these stories, not just storage auction stories, but maybe estate sales stories. But it's definitely interesting to read the stuff. There's no doubt about it. And there's always a story behind it. There's always a story behind the individual, that was out there, whether it's from a storage unit, with an estate sale, or somebody passed away. Life is so precious. It really is, guys. And there's life's always ups and downs. I mean, it's always been that way for me. I'm not a rich little kid out here where I could just sit around and do nothing and just I'm always out here hustling. So let me go back to some comments. The Taekwondo Shawshank. How do the people on OfferUp tick you off? Oh, you're talking to somebody else. Okay. Hey, thanks for tuning in, Shy Boy 909 from San Bernardino, California. Yeah, Surfly. Make sure you keep the live streams up on your channel. Yeah, the last one I had to take down. It was unbelievable. But I was just reading the comments, and it was so bad. Even Kim couldn't even tell me what was going on until I looked at the replay, and I just shut it down. Yeah, Renee says the ones I got were from the 40s and the 60s. Yeah, it's interesting stuff, and it's interesting time. If you go back in history, it's like looking at this data. It's interesting reading people's letters and how they speak and all that stuff like that. Elijah, you've helped me so much with eBay, especially for very knowledgeable. Keep up the great videos. Hey, I'm glad you like the information. I'm glad you enjoy the videos. Again, this is something a little different that I'm throwing out there, and it's something I've been thinking about for a year, and I'm like, I'm just going to throw it out there, right? I mean, good or bad, maybe you learn from it. Maybe you cherish your family a little bit more. Maybe it makes you hustle a bit more so to make sure that bad things don't happen in your life. Because there's going to be stories of addiction, uh, death, the stuff that nobody ever really wants to tell, and maybe nobody wants to hear it. And I understand that. Nobody wants to hear this depressing, dark stuff. But it is a reality. Life's a reality. And with life, I mean, people get sick all the time. You know how many people I've talked to on Facebook that are resellers have gotten recently sick or died of cancer, or that's just reselling. Friends, family members. I mean, life is amazing. It truly is amazing. But there's hurdles for all of us. And that story today was just a hurdle. And I really, truly hope that person is in a better place. And, hopefully they, have their kids back. Yeah, Mike Dalton, 2 generations and you're forgotten. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, that's the thing. But I saw something the other day. Actually, my neighbor told me this, and I was just blown away. And maybe I'm behind the times. Maybe I'm old school. And this kind of goes back to the live stream I did previously a couple days ago. But I read something on Facebook where an individual walked into a Goodwill and bought a Purple Heart military award. It was like $2.99, and the person posted it in the Facebook group or something like that, and like all heck broke loose, and people were up in arms, and it was both ways. Like, oh, good for you, you're gonna make money off that Purple Heart. And I'm just there thinking, really, really, Goodwill is now selling Purple Hearts, military Purple Hearts at the thrift store. To me, that seems mind blowing to me. I mean, it sounds to me like just tacky. I don't know, and I'm not gonna. I mean, you guys can leave your comments and your thoughts on that subject matter there, because it goes both ways. But to me, I just find that just unclassy and disrespectful. Let me go back here. Let's see. Hey, what's happening? It's your treasures. Hey, thanks. I appreciate you so much, man. I don't know if you were there the other night, man, but you're moderating this chat, and I really appreciate it. Hit me up on Facebook. We'll talk. I really appreciate it because some of the times these live things get a little crazy. Uh, John says I like to watch the flea market videos while I'm listing. Awesome, yeah. A lot of things like this little chat here tonight. I mean, I'm not amazing to look at. There's nothing really for me to be like, hey, check it out. I'm drinking a Miller Lite on freaking a Wednesday. But yeah, just be productive. That's all I can say with all this stuff. Let me go back here. Shane says I missed the live video you spoke of. Why did you take it down? I just took it down because there was just so much nonsense going on there. I couldn't believe it. And maybe I'm out of touch. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. But I felt out of touch with an audience that was there. And then there was some shenanigans where people saying I was raping them, which was crazy. I think I'm lagging here or something. I don't know. Danny, hey Mike, respect for always keeping it real. Hey, thanks Danny. I really appreciate watching. Shy Boy, Blackie Fontana brought me here ever since I enjoyed your videos. Hey, man, Blackie, gosh, somebody messaged me on Facebook with when that happened with him, and I was heartbroken. I really was. I could not believe that happened. I mean, he was a great man. He had his kid with him when I met him at the parking lot in Casa Grande at a Food City, and had talent, all the talent, and a good-looking kid, man, a good-looking guy that could rap, and great smile. He had it all going for him, and there's no doubt about it that he'll be missed, but he had some serious talent there, and it was just I don't know if anybody ever found out who murdered him or anything like that, but people should be looking into that further. There's no doubt about it, and I'm sad. I'm still heartbroken. He autographed some posters for Maddie, some CD, and it's good to see a lot of the love from that video. Of people are like, man, rest in peace. Because Blackie, here's a quick story. When I met Blackie Fontana, right, at the Food City in Casa Grande, he had 4 subscribers. And I was telling him, I said, dude, you got this freaking this trailer. This tour bus, it's got his name on it. I said, why aren't you on YouTube, man? And he's like, oh, man, I'm doing my other thing, And anyway, I put out that video, and I looked like a couple days later, and a lot of you guys subscribed to him. It was pretty cool. And then he kind of blew up, and then he obviously blew up a lot more since his passing. But he was a great guy. He was. For the moment in time I met him, you meet when you first meet somebody like that, and he had an aura to him, right? Where I was like, man, this guy's the rock star. This guy, So yeah, I got a CD, and he personalized it to me, and I listen to it from time to time when I'm in the car, do my gangsta thing. But yeah, definitely somebody that died way too early. Let's go back here. Hey, we got Peddling Profits in the house. Thanks for stopping in, Duane and Doc. Yeah, check these. If you're not subscribed to Peddling Profits on YouTube here, you guys got to check them out. Honestly, they have got a lot of information, and it's different information from the norm. People, hey, go to the, they go to the Weigh and Pay, and they find things that nobody else talks about. So they find stuff all the time, and they've been doing it a long time. They've made a living doing it, and I respect that. There's nothing about it. They're good friends of mine, and they know how to rock and roll with the business, and just thinking outside the box. That's the key. Hey, Michael Baumberger, haven't seen you in a while, man. Hope you're doing great in Texas. If you're still out there, I would bet, especially with the $2.99 price on it, that people at Goodwill didn't know it was a Purple Heart. Yeah, I don't know. Mike, I really don't know. It's hard for me to believe. Now, you know what? Let me say this. Is it hard for me to believe that nobody there knew that that was a Purple Heart? It is for me to say that. Yeah, it's hard to believe, but I can see that in today's world where people might have overlooked that and they had no idea what that was. Maybe they thought it went to a Build-A-Bear. I don't know. So, but if Goodwill's purposely selling Purple Hearts and management knows this and people on the up and up over there, I would be blown away if they're like, oh, we sell Purple Hearts all the time. That would shock me. But appreciate you commenting there, Mike. Let me go back here. John, it's about connecting with people you have something in common with. Yeah, I think that's the key, and I think that's what I've noticed all the years making these videos is that something I give off connects with you guys that are out there, and I've become so many friends of people from on YouTube, and just because of different common interests, or maybe because I have a gap between my teeth, I don't know, but it's definitely cool, and it's good to find a common interest with people that are that are like-minded. There's no doubt about it, But when I say like-minded, other people like to say like-minded, but pay them. You got to pay them to be like-minded with them. That's not what I'm trying to say, if that makes any sense. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. I'm looking through this thing. All right. Taekwondo, yeah, I wouldn't know what one was, but I'm sure one Goodwill would price something like that a lot more way overpriced. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would hope that thing would be in the glass case, not a laughing matter, but that's crazy. Hey, Shane, he's from Redding, California. Awesome. So I'm a little further back in the comments, guys. Bill Thompson, what's happening? What's up, man? How you doing, man? Hanging in there. There's no doubt about it. I'm doing a lot of stuff. Kind of around the house because Kim's on spring break. We did some cool things today, and I'm looking to buy storage units. So I had my eye on the storage unit today, and then it got canceled last minute. But I've got this honey hole thing that is interesting. I'm going to see if it pans out with some of these storage units I'm buying lately. It's kind of underground. I don't think anybody knows about some of these websites, and we'll see how it goes. I want to talk to the people that own the websites before I throw out there publicly. Because sometimes the storage treasures, you look on there, it kind of blows up, and some of these listings go for kooky money. Hey, thanks, Lee Loves Lily. Thanks for joining tonight. Again, I'm not going to be very long. I just want to answer some questions for you guys. Scott, I've been wanting to ask you, do you have a laptop for sale? I think I've got two, Scott. Scott, message me again. I think you're the guy from are you the guy from Coolidge who messaged me about a laptop? I saw the message come through there, and then I just get buried with messages. So I'll have to go with that. You're the same Scott. I'll look it back up on my Facebook, and I'll message you back. But I've got one right now that's very, very nice. I just don't have a charger for it. I'm pretty sure it works. I have another one that's a little bit older, but it's a workhorse. It was like a $4,000 laptop like 7 years ago. And it still fires up and turns on. But Scott, yeah. All right, Scott, that is you. Okay, sweet. I'll be in touch with you tomorrow. I'll message you, and we'll work something out. Yeah. Yeah, right, Ben, the bartender. It's crazy. Yeah, Julie. Okay, so people are out of touch, right? I mean, I think a lot of people are out of touch, maybe myself included. But maybe it's just one of these things as you get older in life, you start to realize that things are out of touch. Insurrection, great video, makes you realize how lucky you are. Yeah, and that's the point of like me trying to this story tonight was be thankful for what you have, be thankful for your family, be thankful maybe you're in good health, all that good stuff, because there's other people that are they're down and out. You know what I mean? And I don't, no matter if they're doing drugs or if they just everything is just a roadblock for them, right? Nobody wants to talk about those people that are sitting on the side of the road here in Arizona holding up signs. And yes, people hold, I need food, right? I need this, the homeless. I have a heart for some of those people. Some people are like, oh no, that person, they're wearing better Nike Air Jordans than I am. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, all my shoes come from the thrift store. But you see this. But I saw something yesterday. Me and Kim were going to Home Depot, and I pulled up with the minivan, and I glanced, and I'm like, what's with this woman, a good-looking woman, 23, 24, sitting on the curb by, like, TGI Fridays, with her little boy, and like the little boy was playing like with like some Mega Blocks, and I look over a little closer, and I didn't even realize the mother was holding the sign. We need help, and I was just looking. I'm like, man, your heart wants to give him something, but at the same time, like the parking lot for TGI Fridays was kind of empty, and there was this Hummer there, right? And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, they don't look dirty, they don't look like and again, me being judgmental here, right? They don't look dirty, they look clean, they have nice shoes on, and maybe is that there's a possibility that's their Hummer, and so we drove by, we went to Home Depot. When we came out, I was gonna give him some money. I mean, I wasn't gonna give him like 30, like 20 bucks or something like that. You know, I was like, here, they were gone already. But you hear stories of how some of these homeless people are trickery. I remember in Illinois there was a woman that was on maybe Pete, if Pete watches these videos or whatever. You know, in Woodfield over in Schaumburg, there was a woman that religiously stood out in front of the 90 tollway, and for years she did this. And then there was a report from like NBC or ABC. I don't know what news company did it. Anyway, they followed this woman home, and I remember giving her money, like a buck here or $2 here. They followed her home to like a home in South Barrington worth like 2.3 million, and she looked homeless on the side of the road, but she was collecting all that money. So, again, that's one of those things where it's like, man, who's out of touch? Are we all out of touch? I don't know. um, hey, Tina Q, hello from Guam. Wow, you're watching from Guam. Super appreciate it. That's awesome. Big brother, thanks for the Jen Tobias link. I want to more storage buying and yeah. Oh yeah, Big brother. Yeah, his book is a great buy. There's no doubt about it. Jen Tobias. Jen's Tobias. I gotta make a video one day and just blast him out there because uh, I really enjoy him. He's an honest person that has a book. And a lot of times in today's society, with especially reselling, it's kind of like you kind of go, man, oh, he's got a book. Is he a guru? But Jen's ain't like that, man. I mean, this book, I've read the book. I think it's amazing. I think it's a true depiction of how storage unit buying is and the lifestyle. There's no doubt about it. um, yeah, Toot. Yeah, Toot. I should plug your fiction books. Yeah, send me a book or whatever. I mean, if there's something good and I can help you guys in any way, I mean, I'm more happy to. There's no doubt about it. But if you haven't checked out Jen Tobias, the storage, uh, what is it? The Weekend Storage War. That's it. Weekend Storage Warrior. Excellent read, and she gets you. It gets. I read it all the time. I'll be honest. I read it in the bathroom right after I buy a storage unit. I read it in the bathroom, and it pumps me up. Like, ooh, let's go. Right? It's fun. I love it. Love this stuff. So try to go through here. Um, Yeah, Ben, I hate feeling a bit skeptical about some of the homeless people I've seen, one with brand new Timberlands on. Yeah, I mean, I hate to do that too, man. I mean, who am I to judge anybody? That's the one thing in life as I've gotten older. I try not to judge people, but any rest, it's late here in Arizona. Everybody's sleeping in the house here, and I was laying sod out in the yard today, and I'm like, ooh, sod. Let's see if we can grow grass in Arizona. um, Bob says there was a guy used to sit down in Tucson, lived in a mansion, and got dropped off at his panhandling corner in a limo, man. Right? I mean, we've all heard these stories. I mean, right? It's amazing. Um, Renee says we had a guy that the news station followed. He looked homeless, but they followed him across the street where he got into a BMW, changed clothes, and they followed him home in Edmond. Yeah, I mean, can you believe this? I mean, that's a hustle, but that's a scamming hustle, XX one more dumpsters. The lifestyle is a grind. I bought a unit today. Should break even. That's the life. Yeah, and I would encourage you, man. When you're buying these units, guys. I mean, I'm telling you guys that are unit buyers, if you want these storage auction videos, I would recommend it, man. They get a lot of views on YouTube, a lot of attention to some extent. You could share the story there, but show the reality because that's why I started throwing them out there. A couple years ago because you saw Storage Wars. It was like yeah, sometimes Barry got something, he pulled it out of there. There was the break even, or they lost money, you know. But in the beginning stages of Storage Wars, And then, also with YouTube here, there was all this claiming to be rich and finding millions of dollars, and that's not the case. They can be definitely rewarding. There's no doubt about it. But there's a lot of work. There's a lot of moving of things. There's a lot of trash, and there's a lot of sorrow, like what I read today. Stuff like this. There's sorrow throughout a lot of these units, and I don't think when people sign up for a storage unit, when they rent them out, they might not realize the end game that maybe some of us realize that we're buying from the units. You know what I mean? And I think that's where it gets a little goofy. You know, uh, storage auction pirate. Yeah, he tells it how it is. I mean, that guy's a hustler. He's out there. He knows what's going on, and he's out there grinding it. Uh, yeah, Lisa, right? I know the hustle. I really personally hate that word hustle, or I like the word hustle. I just don't like the word hustler. Because it's got that. If somebody said, "Hey, Mike, what do you do for a living?" I'm a hustler. I mean, maybe the younger generation might think, "Oh, yo, man, you're like a Gary V hustler or something." I don't know. No, I just never liked that terminology. Me personally, I just say I work. That's all I do is I work, and if I'm lucky to get a Miller Lite, then I'm good. So, yeah, that's again. I don't want to make this video really lengthy. I really want to talk to a lot of you guys that are out there that are commenting, and kind of share the story, good or bad. Obviously, tonight's story was depressing, but just it's something to think about, with your life, that if you're out there and you're having a hard time, there's always somebody else that's having it worse. Okay, and there's always a better day tomorrow. Okay, there's always a better day tomorrow, as long as you put the grind in. And yeah, Taekwondo, the hustler's always the pool shark, right? Yeah, that's what I think. I think of the hustler as going to playing pool back in the day, and I'm gonna get hustled by the pool shark. But you know what I mean, guys. There's always a brighter day, and there's always a better tomorrow. And if you're in a situation right now, maybe it's financially, there's always ways to get out of it. I mean, there is. I mean, we've gone through it. I've told the story over and over. We've pawned our wedding rings. We've done a lot of crazy things to be where we're at today. And this can all be taken away from not just myself, but my wife, my kids tomorrow. That's how life is. But you know what it is all about? It's about when you get knocked down, get back in that horse, right? If something tragic had happened, like this story I told tonight, you got to figure a way to get this back on track. I'm dealing with some things personally with family members where it's hard and it's difficult, and they're not seeing clearly, and it's killing me. It's hurting me. It's my own flesh and blood, and I'm sitting there going, what can I do? And after a while, we're talking years. There's nothing I can do anymore. I can try to be supportive and talk and help, but there's nothing I can really do. And I think that's what I think that's what it boils down to. Before I end this video, is that you got to do the best you can, and always think of ways to make it better. Right? Maybe if you're like, hey man, I'm so tired of eating bologna. I want to get I want to get the nice steak tonight or next week. Work for it. I'm telling you, everything in life is about working for it and doing the right thing, paying your bills. And we all get behind on things. But try to stay your head afloat. Get away from, if you're messing with the drugs. Damn, I mean that stuff's like that. That'll kill you, and that's where you're gonna hear a lot of these stories coming from, right? So appreciate all you guys here tonight. Um, Again, I really appreciate it. This is something new I'm throwing out there, and we're running about 30 minutes here, so I wanted to keep it at like 30 minutes. That way, it's digestible, because I know some live shows they get too long. But you guys really go out there and make it happen. Go out there and just live today like it's your last. Wake up to, I mean, it's late tonight. Wake up tomorrow morning and say, you know what, dude, I'm gonna get up at like 7 a.m. I'm gonna get up at 6:30, and I'm gonna go out there and make it happen, right? I'm gonna go to the thrift. I might find a storage auction. I might go to an estate sale. I might give somebody on the corner that's homeless, that looks like they need a couple bucks or a pot from okay, help them out. Everything. It's all about karma. It's everything goes around, man. The cycle does. And trust me, that cycle, whether you are borderline poor, you're barely middle class, or you're filthy rich to some extent, everybody will go through that cycle of life, and life is not always about rainbows and sunshines and puppy dogs. You guys be great. Hopefully, I'll have a new video coming out tomorrow, the next day. Good night. Again, Storage Auction Stories. You never know what happens with the stories. These are true stories from true people, and hopefully learn something from it. Maybe feel some heartache from it. But go out there and change your life. Be the best you can. Till next time, out here, peace. Storage Auction Stories over.